We're at the loft of Alan Brown, who races in the Para Club and the South Australian Home Pigeon Association. Alan sold out of pigeons a couple of years ago, and last year he decided to come back into them. He raced only young birds last year, and he did quite well. He did very well actually with just all young ones, and we're going to see how he's going to go this year with some older birds. Alan, where did you acquire your birds from?
This year, or when I started?
Well, when you first started.
When I first started, I flew with the Fever Club. I raced on my own, but my mate and I started together. He lived up the road, and for 7 years he beat me home by 20 minutes every week.
Yep.
And Barry Skinner, who I played football with, mates with for about 5 when we got together, and we're still friends. He was going to Sydney, and he gave me a pair of pigeons that were from old Henry Kane. And what we can find out, they were all, I think his name was Alec Price, Skits.
Right.
Anyway, I crossed them with the plain pigeons as we were racing together, because he got his pigeons from Colin Nelson, and I reared the young'uns for him, so we always went up, we raced the same pigeons, training together, and every week he was beating me. I put these 2 pigeons in it, and I was beating him every 20 minutes, every week by 20 minutes. And anyway, he eventually got out of it, and I've kept going. I've had a few spells. I couldn't get into a club when I moved to Two Wheels, only as a one club member. I didn't want to do that. So, and then I had a couple of years off just lately. I'll come back next year.
Yeah. Alan, how many birds do you usually breed for the coming race season?
I generally breed around about 120. Generally start racing with about 80. Yeah, and I don't sort of pick them in teams. I race them, and then if I send 20, and there's pigeons that should go back, I send them back. Because if you race in teams, the birds should be going back. You don't send back. So I just pick out the pigeons I think should go back, and most of the times young birds fly better from the race point the second time anyway.
Do you practice any line breeding or inbreeding at all, Alan?
I breed half brother and half sister together. I'll breed mother to son, father to daughter. Don't do a lot of it, but I do a lot of, if I can. Just depends.
You've been successful doing it that way?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of success. Actually, the 2 best pigeons I ever bred were off of at my dolly hen, let's just say, hen I got from there. I went to Sydney, and they made it up themselves in the flying house, and they were half brother and sister. And that's the year I had a bad toss. I lost, I took 100 pigeons to Nan and got 2 home. And I won 14 races for those 2 pigeons, both third. So I won Maryborough by 3.5 hours with the hen, and she bred me second soch the next year. Got beaten by decimal point by a fellow called Gillespie. I don't think he flies now.
No. Do you like racing late breds? And if you do, what do you do different with them?
Well, I've had a lot of success with late breds. When I start training, they all go. And you lose a lot. I've always thought if you want to race 40 late breds, you have to breed 80. So if you want to race 20, you have to breed 40. But I found with late breds, everything's fine with them unless they get split up. Then it's very hard to get them home. But those 3 pigeons I bred here, from Tommy Moore I was telling you about, well, I got placed, I think, with one of them twice in the group. Well, I think I had 5 places. One of them might have been placed twice, and 2 of them might have been placed twice. I'd have to look up on the sheets. But they were bred end of January, early March, and they raced really well. But and because last year most of them were late breds, because I didn't decide to fly until it was after Christmas, January, and then Lindsay said, well, I'll breed you some pigeons. You get 20 rings. 3 days later, I get another 20 rings, and I got sick of going to races and getting rings. So I ended up with about 110 pigeons all told, because different fellas from the club bred me pigeons. And, so I was quite pleased with the way they went. And this hen here, the grizzle hen, I cocked her 5 times, and that's a pair of Jurgens lent me. And well, that's the tame hen. cock's down her legs. She flew all the north races right through. Then I sent her to Yunta, and she flew Wilcannia, Coburn, and I sent her to Marta. She was a bit behind, but I reckon it was a real good end, you know. And I mated them up in here. I put 3 mated pairs in here. They all switch mates. And that's one of Lindsay's down there. That's off the white-tailed cock. You must have heard him talk about the white-tailed cock. He's a good cock. He's a beautiful pigeon, he is. But the young'uns are really nice young'uns. There's a couple in the nest here. And they won't be long before they go over. But I'll most probably race it this year, but I won't race this often.
Yeah. When do you start training your pigeons, Alan, and what would be the distance to the first toss?
Well, when I start training my pigeons, I generally throw a bag at them about 10 weeks before the first race. All my pigeons do at present. There's a few go up and fly. It's fly from the loft to the lawn and from the lawn back to the loft. And I generally treat them with Turbosol and Triple X, and I do them for coccidiosis with baycocks. Then I worm them, and then I give them a dose of Epsom salts, and I reckon they're ready to go. And their first toss is round 30 kilometres. And I've had some disasters, I can tell you. But and I normally train my pigeons once a week. I used to always train on my own, but since the falcons have got so bad, I've been going with Lindsay Smith, and we generally go to Whitwater, between Whitwater and Snowtown. Yeah. And he always takes about 1,000 pigeons or 800 pigeons, and that's all they get once a week. I've always been the same. I've always tried to train on my own if I can. I won't train with anybody that lives further south if I can help it, because I think the birds that the fellas train up here, and I don't know, you might be the same with the town crowd, they always come back from the town. And I think that's why Greg Appleton flies so well too, because they go from the training toss straight to the loft. But that's what I do, and as I said, if I need to brighten them up, I'll take them out 20-25 k's of a night time and just give them enough time to get home. But I don't like doing that unless I have to, because that will brighten them up.
Do you prefer tailwind or headwind tossing, Alan?
I would prefer a headwind than tailwind. But I won't go into a position because I've got a headwind if I don't think I've got a chance from winning from there. It's got to be where I think the pigeons will come on that particular day. So as I said, on the north if we go to the one place, because the tailwind doesn't matter much, and as I said, now you don't get the birds coming up here as much.
Have you practiced any single up training, Alan?
No, I never single toss. If I toss pigeons, I'd always toss 5 or 6 together. Never single toss. I think you've got to have more than one pigeon, so they race one another for a start. But a lot of people do it successfully. I think you might have less trouble with the falcons, but it takes a long time. If you only single toss 100 pigeons, you know, I have tossed 6 or 7 together, but I'd only drive on and let another 6 or 7 go. But you're out all day doing it.
Since we're racing on the deep southeast line this year, Alan, where will you be tossing your birds?
I would say we would go down to Old Noarlunga or somewhere on that line, where that's where we'll toss from. We'll still toss our north birds from Whitwater or between Whitwater and Snowtown, but the south birds, that's where we'll go down along the coast.
You think about going through the hills at all, Alan?
In my opinion, if it's a southwest wind or a northwest wind, unless it's a very strong west in it, they won't come that deep anyway. So for us to get them up here, it's got to be strong enough to push them behind the hills, and I don't think if we do, well, but I reckon that we'll go to Old Noarlunga, unless Lindsay wants to go down there, but I don't think he will. I mean, when we was flying Maryborough and those places, we used to train Monarda South, or on the east side of it we went up to the side road when you was going to Murray Bridge, up there. We didn't go through Adelaide.